Hi, I'm Locady, and this is the ConMet Vision System. So one of the things, hopefully you can see on the screen, that is an issue. Sometimes the circular blobs don't get found properly, and then because there's 5 regions of interest, that that extra where it should have identified where the circle was, it ends up floating around and it finds the next closest best fit to a circle. So that's why this region number 5 has 2 circle fits inside of it. It thought that this other object was, or this reflection was, a circle to check. So I'm going to go through the inspection and see why that is failing to detect the circle, and it's most likely something going on with the background. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna step through that, and hopefully we'll see what's going on. Okay, so we're in the vision assistance step, which is where the image processing gets done. We're looking at the image as it was acquired. So first thing is it saves a copy of the image. Then a threshold is done, and so far things look okay. We've got circles and we've got a bunch of noise in the background. The goal here is to eliminate the background, keep the circles. So the first morphology is an open, and what has happened is it looks like this area, which wasn't quite closed, got split open even further. See a few other places where that's occurred, and the other one on the outside, yeah, same thing, it's kind of broken up. So I think the threshold is our number one issue that we need to look at. So the other possibility is I could open it less, but that still leaves us with a whole bunch of noise. Let's go back to the threshold and see if that can be improved. All right, so the green box is approximately how big the object is. So we want this particular tool to compare chunks of the image that are the size of the object that we're looking for. And then we're going to look at this deviation factor to see if we can make the circles stay completely intact. Now that goes the wrong way. If I go up, it's heading in the wrong direction. All right, that looks a lot better. And that one looks intact as well. So now, let's go to the next step, see what happens. Okay, looks like it stayed intact. That one's broken. I may consider increasing the exposure of the camera. I might do that. Let's see if we can solve the problem with what we have first. Next morphology, remove some details. Particle filter, there we go. Let's take a look at that in total. That looks a lot better. So we went from having all of this noise to the noise is eliminated. So we've got a good part, an intentionally upside down part, another good part, good part, good part. On the outside edges, there's a little bit less light hitting those parts, and that's why the issue seems to be with those guys. And yes, I can increase the exposure, but if there's a way to make it more accurate through the software, I'm going to do that first. Now that's an interesting thing. So that one is completely closed, but this one is not closed. So it looks like we need a morphology after that. Let's see here. Nope, wrong thing. Don't want that tool. I want basic morphology. And let's see if we can close. Next step. Okay, there it is. All right, I'm still probably going to increase the exposure a little bit. The goal, again, is to get these parts as consistent as possible, and also to be able to eliminate the background completely. And I'll do a test from the main program outside of the inspection. Okay, so again, this is what it looked like previously, and I'm going to run the program. It's going to connect to the camera, take an image that it doesn't inspect on, so that's where we're at now, and now I'm going to do an inspection. All right, that's good. Matter of fact, we have a good, a bad, a good, a good, and a good, and that's exactly what we should have. I'm going to try a few things. I'm going to see what would happen if we had pieces missing. Because one of the things I noticed while I was in there is that no matter what, there's always 5 inspections, and there isn't anything that's going to prevent a missing part from that circle inspection from moving over to one of the others and actually inspecting it twice. So that's what I'm going to look at now. Well, I couldn't recreate that problem that I thought was going to happen, so I'll go ahead and show you what the solution was anyway. The circles come into this loop, and I basically, what I didn't have is the actual radius check inside of this loop. I had it in an outside section of the program. So now the only way that an OK can occur is if the circle fits inside of the columns and its radius is good. So what I mean by columns is these blue lines. So each one of these columns is the place where our circular parts need to be in between there. But basically that area of the image is now limited. So this first one on the left is limited just for part 0. It can be anywhere inside that box, but it has to be in the box. And actually, it can be a little bit outside the box and it still works. But that's what's changed.